The internet caught a glimpse of something we weren't supposed to see for at least another week. A tech YouTuber by the name of Techie Talk accidentally hit publish on a full retail review of the Steam Controller 2. The video was scrubbed within minutes, but on the internet, minutes are an eternity. Screenshots and mirrors are already flying across Reddit and X, and they confirm the one thing everyone has been dying to know: the price, which is said to be $99. Last week, I showed you the shipping manifest for tens of thousands of these controller units hitting US docks. We knew the hardware was real, we knew it was close, but this leak combined with Valve accidentally uploading an unboxing video to their own servers and a massive software update for the Steam Deck beta means the drop is imminent. Today we are breaking it all down. Is $99 a fair price when a standard DualSense is $70? How does it stack up against $200 Pro controllers? And most importantly, is this the piece of hardware that finally makes the Steam machine a reality? Before we get into the specs, let's talk about why this isn't just another rumor. Valve has been leaving a trail of breadcrumbs that basically tell us to get our wallets ready. First, let's just look at the software. If you're on the Steam Deck preview or the beta channel, you might have noticed a tiny blink and you'll miss it update. Valve added a dedicated Bluetooth charging icon and a low battery toast notification for wireless gamepads. And that's all because the new Steam controller doesn't just use AA batteries like the old one. It's a modern rechargeable device. Then there's the SteamDB leak. On April 20th, a new video entry appeared on the Steam servers titled Steam Controller Unboxing 2026. If you try to play it, you get a not processed error, but the metadata is there. Valve is literally staging the store page as we speak, so you should be expecting an official Steam controller unboxing video from Valve themselves. Also, we can't forget Komodo, Valve's Asian retailer for their hardware, recently updated their Steam controller page, which is another indication that it's extremely close, as Komodo did leak the first ever official looks of the Steam hardware back in November with pictures of the Steam frame, Steam controller, and Steam machine. And finally, the Techie Talk leak. The reviewer didn't just talk about the controller, they showed the Steam controller puck. It's a magnetic charging dock and a 2.4 GHz transmitter that allows for 8 millisecond latency. In the video, the reviewer confirmed the $99 MSRP includes both the controller and the puck, which is a massive detail that changes the value proposition entirely. So before you start freaking out about how much it will get sold for, let's talk about why it's being priced at $99. And that's because on paper, it's using technology we've never seen in a mainstream first-party gamepad. The biggest takeaway is the TMR magnetic sticks. Now, you've probably heard already of Hall effect sticks. They're the ones that don't drift because they use magnets instead of physical contact. But TMR, or tunneling magnetoresistance, is the next level. It uses quantum magnetic field sensing. It's more precise, uses less power, and has a much higher polling rate than Hall effect. While some Pro controllers like the DualSense Edge or the Xbox Elite Series 2 use standard potentiometer sticks that will eventually drift, Valve is giving us forever sticks right out of the box. The only catch is that the leak confirmed these are soldered to the board. You can't pop them out like the DualSense Edge modules, but since they don't wear down, you shouldn't ever really need to. But then we also have Grip Sense. This is Valve's clever answer to the clunky gyro problem. The grips of the controllers are capacitive. The moment your hands touch the back of the controller, the 6-axis gyro activates. You don't have to hold a button or even toggle a setting. If you're holding it, you're aiming with it. It's an intuitive bridge between mouse precision and controller comfort. And of course, we can't forget the 34.5mm trackpads. They've been slimmed down and refined with the same high-definition LRA haptics found in the Steam Deck. However, the review wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Techie Talk pointed out a few things that have the community divided. First, there is no 3.5mm audio jack. Valve is clearly pushing people towards either Bluetooth or USB-C audio, which might be a deal breaker for those who rely on wired headsets plugged into their controller. Second is the texture. The reviewer mentioned the controller uses a rough textured plastic that feels a bit slippery if you have dry hands. Unlike the Xbox Elite or the DualSense, there is no rubber rubberized grip here. Valve likely did this for long-term durability, as rubber grips always peel eventually, but it's a detail that makes the $99 price tag feel a bit plastic heavy to some. Lastly, the controller is lined with infrared LEDs. This is a massive future-proofing move. This means the controller has the ability to be tracked by the Steam frame, so this is where you will see the main focus be on social media. People are saying the original Steam controller was $50. Why is now this one double? So let's just quickly look at the competition. The standard DualSense, which is around $70 to $75, is a great simple controller, but it has no back buttons. The battery life is notoriously short, usually around 6 to 8 hours, and it uses old school sticks that are prone to drift, so comparing it to the Steam controller isn't that great as they are on completely different levels of tech. So let's look at the DualSense Edge, which costs $200, and this is Sony's Pro offering. You get the back paddles and swappable sticks, but the battery life is actually worse than the standard model. But let's compare it to the Steam controller 2, which is half the price. You're getting 4 integrated back buttons, TMR sensors, dual trackpads, and a quoted 35-hour battery life. Plus, it includes the magnetic charging puck, which doubles as your wireless receiver. When you look at it that way, Valve isn't competing with the $70 basic controllers like some are pointing them out to. They're actually undercutting the $200 Pro controller market by half, while offering tech that is arguably even more advanced. So now that we know the price, the biggest question is the timing. Why did a random YouTuber have a retail-ready box and a finished review if the store page isn't even live? This points to a very specific Valve strategy we've seen already with the Steam Deck OLED. While they did give us a week's notice for the OLED model, there was no big pre-order phases that lasted for multiple months. So by tracking those 13 tons of new controller units, it seems like Valve is repeating that same play. They don't want a repeat of the original Steam Deck launch, where people were waiting over a year, so we should be expecting for Valve's next big announcement, it could include putting the Steam controller live for purchase, or give us an exact date to get us all ready. This creates a massive problem for companies like Scuf, Razer, and even Sony with the DualSense Edge. If you can get forever TMR sticks, a charging dock, and 4 back buttons for under $100, the $200 Pro controller market effectively dies overnight. The original Steam controller launched in 2015 for $50. In 2026, money adjusted for inflation and the massive jump from basic haptics to high-definition LRA and magnetic sensors, $99 is actually a very aggressive, thin margin price for Valve. They are trying to get a Steam controller into the hands of as many people as possible. So is it a buy at $99? If you value longevity and you're tired of stick drift, then yes. If you want the best possible experience for Steam input, then absolutely. But if you're happy with your $60 Xbox controller and don't care about back buttons or gyro, then you might just want to wait for the first sale. But I want to hear from you. Is $99 the sweet spot, or is Valve pushing their luck? Thanks for watching, and I hope you are ready for the Steam controller launch, which we could see next week.